Well, isn't it a joy to all be together on Mother's Day? It is just really such an honor to be here. And, you know, being a mother is so much more than the biology of it. And isn't it true that maybe even the most important part about being a great mom is way more than who physically gave birth to you? And I was thinking about my own mom and one of the things that she does, all the things that she does that are such great examples of what a great mother would be about. And so I was thinking about those times when I've done things maybe that I shouldn't. And my mother has this wonderful quality of no matter what I've done, she sees the good in me. And I have been so blessed by that. And in fact, I'm the youngest of, I have two older sisters, so I'm the youngest of three girls, and my older sisters were a little wild and crazy, and so comparatively, I seemed like a really good kid. And so whenever I kind of mess up a little bit, my mother would not only see the good in me, but she would somehow also figure out that it was something that my sisters had done wrong that had caused me to mess up. I love that. That was awesome. Now, when you were a teenager, did anybody ever sneak out of the house at night? Oh, wait a minute. If your mom's here, you don't have to answer that question. And indeed, I am going to admit that as a teenager, a couple of times I sneaked out in the middle of the night, and I got caught. And one of the wonderful qualities that my mother has is that of forgiveness. So how many of us have done things that we knew that were wrong, and we did them anyway, and our mothers have been kind enough to find it in their heart to forgive us? And as young adults, haven't we all made decisions that ended up not being the best ones for us? And thank goodness for those mothers that love and encourage and support us, even maybe when we least deserve it, and maybe when we don't even think we deserve it ourselves. And so these are the qualities, I think, that really make up being a great mom. And we're here today not really just to celebrate biological mothers, but aren't we really here to celebrate those wonderful mother-like qualities of looking for the good in others, and for forgiveness, and for loving and encouraging and supporting others on their path, even sometimes when they least deserve it. So Jesus said, "Do unto others as you would have them do unto you." And it seems like that's the perfect thing to think about on Mother's Day when we think about these wonderful qualities. That it's even more than do unto others as you would have them do unto you, but also do unto yourself as you would have others do to you. And it seems how important it is to be able to love and nurture ourselves as a mother does, in order to be able to carry with us all that we need to find that love and forgiveness and encouragement that we need in our lives on any given day, whether our mother is still with us or whether our mother has passed on or is some other place. And so being able to nurture those qualities within ourselves seems like a very important component of finding real happiness in our lives. And in Buddhism, there's a wonderful practice where we take a visualization and we imagine that all the people in the world, that in some other life, every person was at one time our parent. And that one other life, at some point, every other person was our child. And so as we're just sitting here today, imagine that as we're in this room together, bringing together this sense of community, Imagine that each and every person in this room today was your child and was your parent. Feel that sense of closeness that creates within each of us, that we may have walked in here as complete strangers, not knowing even the person that you're sitting next to. But if that person were your child, or that person were your parent, that sense of love and compassion that you would suddenly start to feel in your heart. And how wonderful that is that we can come together as a community to love and support each other in that way. I've been reading a book from a research institute in California, and some of you may have heard of it. It's entitled HeartMath. And what they've done for the last 15 years is they've collected all the research that has been done on the heart as the center of our emotional well-being. And the amazing thing they've found is that we often think of that our brain does the thinking and our heart does the feeling. And in fact, what they've discovered is that there is a part of your heart that also works like a brain. And so when we talk about the heart mind, there's actually functions that are going on in your heart that are about thinking that are separate from what's going on in your head. And the discovery of this is amazing because what they've been able to do in the laboratory is they've been able to hook people up to all the little electrodes and take samples of people's blood and find what they can do in order to actually have people experience peace through a slower heart rate, through less stress hormones in their blood. And it is amazing that they found that there were some certain simple steps that each of us can take to do that nurturing to ourselves. That in any situation we have within us the ability to be our own best mother. And so what I wanted to do was describe for you the process. It takes 5 steps. And then when we go into meditation, we'll practice it a little bit. So the first step is that we begin when we're breathing, and we think about breathing in and out of our heart. Sometimes when we do the meditation too, you can even put your hand on your heart just to remind yourself that you're breathing in and breathing out from the heart. And the second step is that you bring to mind someone that you feel great love for. Maybe it is your own mother, or maybe it is your own child. And you bring that person to mind and create in as much detail, with as much emotion, that feeling of love and caring that you can within your body, and really experience what that's like to feel that sort of love for another individual. And that's step 2. Step 3 is to expand it out and to feel that innate sense of love for yourself and for others in your life, maybe those that it's not so easy to love. And the 4th step is that what often happens when we start to do this visualization, we'll find that thoughts arise, that we start to think about experiences or things that have happened with other people in our lives. And the idea is to always bring the focus back to our heart. And the 5th step is, once it's all done, to allow yourself to write down any insights, any direct knowing that can come from spending that time breathing in and out from your heart.